This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
.45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news, edited by Lal Mallavarachi and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. The President says that discussions on restructuring the loans are successful. Preparations are underway to celebrate the 75th National Independence Day. The electricity bill will be temporarily increased until 15th of February. Lanka Satosa has reduced the prices of 4 essential consumer goods. The chairman of the National Delimitation Committee says that delay is issuing in its report will not impact the upcoming local government election. News overseas. Special counsel appointed to look into Biden's handling of classified files. In sports, India clinched the ODI series against Sri Lanka by 2-0. And those are the headlines. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that discussions on restructuring the loans are successful. The country should be directed properly forward in spite of the prevailing crisis. The President expressed his view while addressing the Pradipha Abhishek Award ceremony 2022 organized by the Women's Chamber of Industry and Commerce in appreciation of women entrepreneurs yesterday. Accordingly, the President said that the possibility of a moratorium will be investigated and necessary relief will be provided in order to protect the business community in the country. The Governor of the Central Bank has already been instructed to take the necessary steps in this regard. The assistance of the IMF is expected in near future. The World Bank and the Asian Development Bank are anticipated to provide loans to the country. The government is focusing on restructuring the government bodies and do not earn profits in the hope of stabilizing the economy. The President further said, everyone should be committed to do their best in order to make the future prosperous. The President's Media Division says that the preparations are underway to celebrate the 75th National Independence Day with pride, together with the new reformist program for the next 25 years. During this celebration, held with pride under the theme Namo Namo Mata, a step towards a century, the government will announce its new reforms course for the next 25 years for the implementation of a stable government policy right until the 100th Independence Day celebration in 2048. Thus, the main ceremony of the National Independence Day celebration will be held on the 4th of February at 8:30 a.m. at the Golf Green under the patronage of President Ranil Wickremesinghe and Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. The festivities are scheduled to begin after the offering of floral tributes at the statue of Mahamanya D.S. Senanayake at the Independence Square and the statue of the war heroes at the Presidential Secretariat. Many cultural and religious programs have already been organized throughout the country in conjunction with the 75th National Independence Festival. Accordingly, the Buddhist religious rites will be performed on the evening of February 2nd at Sri Dalada Maligawa. The Catholic religious services will be held at Maradana Fatima Church on February 4th at 6:30 a.m. Hindu religious rituals will be held in the morning of February 3rd at Trincomalee Dakshina Kailash or Koneswaram Temple. Arrangements have already been made to hold Muslim religious services on February 4th at 10 a.m. at the Colombo Grand Mosque. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank Excelsior. Live the life you want.
The Ceylon Electricity Board says that the electricity bill will be temporarily increased until 15th of February. Cabinet approval has been received for this purpose. The price of the domestic electricity unit will be increased from 29 rupees 14 cents to 48 rupees 42 cents as per the temporary scheme. Accordingly, the domestic fixed rate to 30 units will be increased from 120 rupees to 400 rupees. Between 30 to 60 units, the fee will be increased from 240 rupees to 550 rupees, and between 60 to 90 units will be increased from 360 rupees to 650 rupees. According to the General Manager of the Central Electricity Board, Mr. Rohan Seniviratne, the domestic fixed tariff will be increased from 960 rupees to 1,500 rupees for 90 to 180 units, and from 1,500 rupees to 2,000 rupees for customers with more than 180 units. In the meantime, the Public Utility Commission's charges regarding the increase in the electricity bills should be given before the 15th of next month. He said that the electricity bill will be revised accordingly. Lanka Satos has reduced the prices of 4 essential consumer goods provided to the public. The price of 1 kilogram of samba rice local has been reduced by 5 rupees and its new price is 220 rupees. The price of 1 kilogram of white rice local has been reduced by 16 rupees and the new price is 189 rupees. A kilogram of white rice local has been reduced by 2 rupees and the new price is 198 rupees. The price of 1 kilogram of wheat flour has been reduced by 5 rupees and its new price is 240 rupees. Parliamentarian Eran Vikramaratne points out that no one can exceed the rules and the regulations of the Elections Commission in holding elections. He expressed his view at a media briefing held yesterday at the office of the opposition leader. Some are stating that the holding an election will be an expensive matter. He also said that some politicians try to postpone the election intentionally as they are unable to face the public. And that's local news.
People's Bank Excelsior, a comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you. People's Bank Excelsior, for professionals who dare to dream.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Chairman of the National Delimitation Committee, Mahinda Deshapriya, says that the final report of the committee on the delimitation of the country's local government bodies could be further delayed. However, he said the delay in issuing the report will not impact the upcoming local government election. He said the delay in issuing the report was due to multiple reports including the promotion, the retirement and transfers given to the relevant state officials as well as the busy schedule of the assistant and deputy election commissioners. He said that the National Delimitation Committee was to produce its final report to the government on the 28th of February. However, the existing situation, it could be delayed to late March. A request will be made next week to the respective officials to extend the tenure of the National Delimitation Committee. And that was top news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
In Washlight, the chairman of the Ceylon Electricity Board says the Kalanitis power station might be disabled from tomorrow morning due to the lack of naphtha to operate the Kalanitis power station. He said that the plant has enough naphtha to operate until tomorrow morning and also mentioned that the Petroleum Corporation is ready to give naphtha only for cash in hand. He said that the Electricity Board is negotiating with the authorities to find money to pay the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation to buy the naphtha needed to operate the plant.
Coming up, World News.
Special counsel appointed to look into Biden's handling of classified files. Brazil President Lula says Bolsonaro supporters inside the palace enabled right. Huge rare earth metals discovery in Arctic Sweden. And those are the headlines of the World News. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland has appointed a special counsel to investigate President Joe Biden's handling of classified documents. Robert Hur, former senior Justice Department official during the Trump presidency, will lead the investigation. Classified files were recently found in Biden's home and at an office he used after his term as vice president. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has accused ex-leader Jair Bolsonaro's allies of aiding an attack on the presidential palace on Sunday. Lula said he was convinced supporters of Mr. Bolsonaro inside the palace had been complicit by allowing rioters to enter key state buildings, and he vowed to carry out a thorough screening of palace employees in the wake of the attempted insurrection. Some 1,500 people have already been detained in connection with the attack. Europe's largest deposit of rare earths, which are used from mobile phones to missiles, has been found in Sweden. No rare earths are mined in Europe at the moment, and the Swedish minister hailed the find as a way of reducing the EU's dependence on China. The discovery is also being seen as decisive for the green transition. Given the expected rise in demand for electric vehicles and wind turbines, some 98% of the rare earths used in EU in 2021 were imported from China. And that's world news. Development news. Sri Lanka Hadabima Authority is launching a program to improve poultry farming in the country. The program focuses on uplifting the life condition of the low-income earners in the remote areas. The Minister of Agriculture Mahinda Amravira has instructed the authority to restart poultry farming as there is high demand for eggs and chicken. And that was development news.
Sports news is brought to you by
Sampath Bank, we present your future.
India recorded a 4-wicket win over Sri Lanka with 40 balls to spare in the second one-day match and clinched the series by 2-0 at the Eden Park, Kolkata yesterday. The Indians, led by Rohit Sharma, sealed this victory with some effort after losing early wickets, but their bowlers Kuldeep Yadav and Mohammad Siraj took 3 wickets each to set their victory, while Sri Lanka were bowled out for 215 in 39.4 overs. Nuanidu Fernando, who played for his maiden one-day international match, scored his maiden half-century in 63 balls with 6 boundaries. And that was sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Animal Production and Health Department has decided to calculate and publish the production cost for an egg weekly, which was calculated monthly until now. Animal Production and Health Department Director General Dr. Hemali Kotalawala said, thus the production cost of an egg will be announced on Friday every week. She further said an egg can be delivered to consumers at a price less than 50 rupees considering the current production cost.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Economic news, courtesy of
LONC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LONC Finance claims the overall gold award whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking.
The Chinese embassy in Colombo says that President Ranil Wickremesinghe has held a video conference with the chairman of the Export-Import Bank of China on bilateral cooperation and debt issues. The embassy has tweeted that the talks were fruitful and the two sides agreed to further strengthen exchanges and collaboration on the resolution of Sri Lanka's debt issues. And that was economic news.
LONC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LONC Finance claims the overall gold award whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking.
Weather report. The Met Department says that mainly fair weather will prevail over most parts of the island. And that was the weather report. And to wind up this news broadcast, let's look at the main points once again. The President says that discussions on restructuring the loans are successful. Preparations are underway to celebrate the 75th National Independence Day. The electricity bill will be temporarily increased until 15th of February. Lanka Satos has reduced the prices of 4 essential consumer goods. And news overseas, a special counsel appointed to look into Biden's handling of classified files. In sports, India clinched the ODI series against Sri Lanka by 2-0. And with that, we conclude this morning news broadcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.